Hi there everyone, my name is Jenna Calhoun and today I'm going to talk to you about communication accommodation theory out of chapter 9. Communication accommodation theory is the interpersonal communication perspective that examines processes by which individuals adapt their communication behaviors to others or they accommodate them, and the consequences of accommodation on subsequent communication. The theory is guided by the insight that communicators sometimes adapt their behaviors towards others, as when speakers slow down when talking to someone that's older, or perhaps speaking louder thinking that someone older can't hear very well. And I've experienced communication accommodation theory in my life as a waitress at Red Robin. I'm constantly communicating with customers, my fellow employees, and my bosses. And living and working in San Antonio, it provides a really diverse population, which includes different languages such as Spanish that I encounter on a daily basis. So when I have a customer that doesn't speak fluent English, the communication can get difficult between us, and I have to find ways to successfully communicate with them to ensure that I order the right food and drinks for them. So I take part in communication accommodation theory when I try to speak the little Spanish that I do know to make them more comfortable and enjoy their experience overall. I have noticed that I also smile a lot more and use more facial expressions, and I point out the menu and look at pictures in the menu more frequently with non-fluent English speakers than I do with English speaker customers, and that's just again to ensure that I don't mess up and that they know exactly what they're going to get. And although these situations can kind of feel awkward for me because I'm not comfortable speaking Spanish, and I know that these situations can be difficult to navigate already, I want to make it more comfortable for them, whether that makes me feel uncomfortable or not, and I want to accommodate them and make their experience overall just the best that it can be. So now that I've discussed the experience a little bit, I will now make some inferences. I think that the communication accommodation theory is so useful and so practical to everyday life in different various ways. And whether it's a language barrier like my experience at work, or we're overhearing someone accommodate someone older by talking louder because they don't think that they can hear, it's in our everyday life. And I think that communication accommodation theory is so interesting because I don't think that people actively think about how much they do accommodate people in their daily lives through communication, and they tend to do it quite a bit. So through this experience, I learned how often I accommodate people in my daily life as well. So it's not just at work, which happens a lot, but just in my everyday conversations with different people, I've noticed that I do accommodate people and try to get on their level or just communicate better. And the emotions that played in this situation were really uncomfortable and worried and nervous, and that's just because there's a lot of uncertainty with accommodating people, and I want to provide a great experience for them and not offend them, and so there's just a lot of uncertainty. So now that I have a couple inferences, I'll discuss how these can be transferred to other situations, and that would be when people talk to babies. It's very common that people will talk in baby talk to accommodate them because they know that they don't have communication skills yet, and so I've seen this many times when people won't say actual words, but they'll say goo goo gaga kind of thing, much like when people accommodate elderly people. It's almost like a natural instinct to accommodate babies because we're aware that they can't speak yet. But I think that with this knowledge and the theory and the inferences that I've made, that we can be more aware, and if I'm accommodating someone or if there's a situation that it may come in handy, I can know how to use accommodation better. And also I would use this information to make sure that I don't over-accommodate or offend someone. I think this theory can be generalized to other parts of life all over because we're constantly communicating with others and adjusting our communication behaviors to the given situation, and it just can be seen in so many different various ways of our lives. So in conclusion, the information that the text provided about the communication accommodation theory informed us how to be more aware and conscious communicators, and we can use this information to avoid situations that may be offensive and know how to properly deal with situations that may need accommodation. Now that we have this knowledge, we can act accordingly and respectful in these situations and really make the best experience for everyone. And now that we're more educated on the subject, we can be more accommodating to others when it's necessary, but in the proper way, again, that we're not disrespecting anyone or anything of that matter. As stated by Tony Robbins, to effectively communicate, we must realize that we are all different in the way we perceive the world and use this understanding as a guide to our communication with others. Hope you enjoyed, guys. Bye. Thanks.